In James chapter 1, the subject is trials, and he has said that we need to count it all joy when we encounter various trials. Regardless of the circumstance that you face as a believer, you need to understand that God sends things your way to test you. And he sends things your way to stretch you. And the first two trials that he mentions are the trials of poverty and the trials of prosperity. Look what he says in James 1, 9 through 11. He said, "Let the lowly brother boast in his exaltation, the rich man in his humiliation, because like a flower of grass he will pass away. For the sun rises with its scorching heat, withers the grass, its flower fails, and its beauty perishes. So will the rich man fade away in the midst of his pursuits." The first two trials that God speaks of here are poverty and prosperity. Now let's do prosperity first. Most people, when they're experiencing prosperity, they think that God is blessing them, but rarely when we have an abundance do we ask the question, "God, are you testing me?" But ultimately it says in this passage that riches can be a test from God. The test is, what are you going to do with these riches? Are you going to be generous with these riches? Are you going to share these riches? Are you going to use them for the glory of God? Or are you going to use these riches to build a kingdom for yourself? It's a test. And as believers, we need to always be asking the question, "God, why are you doing it this way?" But he also talks about poverty. And many times you need to recognize that when we are in seasons where we have nothing, we need to ask the question, "God, what are you trying to teach me? I had so much, now I have so little." What's he asking you to do in situations like this? Well, whether you are dealing with a trial of prosperity or whether you're dealing with a trial of poverty, he says, "I want you to count it all joy when you encounter trials like this, because I am testing your faith." And he's testing you to complete you. He's testing you to perfect you. He's testing you to finish the work that you've started, because trials in Christ are a means of grace that God uses to build us up into the saints that he's calling us to be. So don't forget to ask the question, "God, are you testing me?"